Titans versus 44? Yeah, Americano. That's a big boy right in front. Ooh, they have a lot of big players. And I feel like they might be at a slight disadvantage because if they're in 484, they probably have Theo. They probably have Theo, but I don't know if they have that many. They might not have that many Charlemagnes unless they did it. Yeah, you can watch all the matches, but there's like 3 matches at 13 UTC. Almost everyone else at 15 UTC, and then like 2 matches at 19 UTC. So I'm kind of just like taking a guess on which match. Oh boy, that is a scary pug. I tried to choose the match that I thought was going to be the closest and the most fun to cast, because as much fun as it was to watch CN9 like annihilate those people last week, it didn't make for good coverage. There's a lot of big boys here. This should be a good match if these guys... I think these guys are similarly powered. Hey, once everyone's like 78 million, it all comes down to who wants it more and who plans more, because they should have more than enough T5s to fill everything. Chizzy's out, boy. You are watching the only ROK streamer that's still in Osiris League. Don't tell anyone that I'm not actually on the Osiris League team. Let's just keep that between like us 5, okay? But tell everyone else, only ROK streamer. What do you think? Some like Lobo body pillows? You think that'll go pretty well? Dude, all the streamers' kingdoms are out. Oh, there's a fast march. Oh, that's pretty saucy. That's pretty saucy. They got a rally to the outpost. I haven't seen that before. These guys are doing 2 outposts. Oh, they're rallying their own outpost. I guess that's just a way to get troops to the middle faster? They're rallying 2 of their own outposts. That other rally canceled, so... I mean, Sleepy, if you design those, I'm at least gonna give you, like, some of the profits. We'll get some, like, mouse pads with, like, my nipples on them with tape on them, and, like, you just, like, sit your wrist in between my boobs. And I'll just get all the simps to the yard. So I'm kind of curious. They got 2 marches go into their own one. What are these marches? They got a minute rally go into 1. Yo, I'll collab with Ven whenever she wants. Dude, I don't know how much money we're gonna make to try to get to pay for the amount of therapy you're gonna need for that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Those get you right down the mid. They probably are going to go blitz them real hard. I really like those opening rallies on the outposts. I mean, less so because I think there's only 2 people in here. So they have 4 people to go with. Like, just the pathing on these ones. They're going mid, so I would assume this is going to be their way of trying to get the Shrine of War really early. But the blue team is going very heavily mid already. I don't quite agree with that. I think the first arc is probably the least valuable. That's a big present at their Shrine of War already. That's a hyper aggressive opening. Ooh, there it is. There's one. Where did the Saladin go? That's the Mina, right? Is this just gonna... Are they just gonna hit this? I think they're actually just gonna take this. There's Salad in here? I mean, Blue's defending that pretty well. Yeah, they're just hitting that right up. That's a really nice way to disrupt starting. The Blue managed to get this, but this is going to get swarmed down so quickly. Blue still have people mid? Look at all these armies that are wasted mid while they're just like about to lose the structure. They still haven't taken their Shrine of War? Why you no take... Why you no... They got their Shrine of Life too? The red... There it is. That is a hyper aggressive opening. Yeah, red's got just a bunch of rallies going. Blue's probably going to lose this because this is... If they manage to keep this momentum up and they just heal through it. Yeah, that's a bad tunnel vision on the arc. Look at how many armies are mid. Like, what are you going to accomplish with all these armies mid when the arc isn't for 5 minutes? They're going to lose that Shrine of Life, but that doesn't really matter. Did they get the... They just delayed that first occupation bonus a bunch. And they're super distracted, so that rally is probably going to do some heavy damage. And they're just kind of ignoring the rally. I wonder if they even filled the obelisk. I would imagine there's a counter rally on blue for the... No, there's no counter rally on it. It's pretty well full, so that rally's probably going to lose. They got another rally off on that really quickly, but they're just barely going to lose first occupation. Oh! Oh, they might not. That might just die if they don't get troops in there. Oh, that was a huge... That was super close. They still have that outpost over there. That Attila's gonna go down. But they did go super heavy. They went so heavy on that Shrine of War. And with 3 minutes to go, I think that's what you want. And they're definitely gonna get their first occupation bonus. Oh, did they manage to reinforce it just enough? But look at the point differential already. Red got a bunch of first occupations. That's pretty huge. I mean, the troops don't matter. You want to be top 32, you gotta blow those speed ups. This isn't just for like 10 heads in an arc match. This is for like 3 more matches and up to like 30 more heads and just bragging rights. That was a really good swarm. I got some armies coming here to help. I don't know how much I agree with hitting that rather than just trying to like burst this down. They're going to get the first occupation on this outpost. I'm an archer player, man. That skin meant nothing. I definitely thought about, like, yo, if I'm going to be a coach, like, put me as a backup so I could get the skin, but the skin just wasn't... The skin wasn't helpful for me. And Red, very intelligently, is just gonna, like, get this reinforced and then swing down. While all of these blue armies took a bunch of time to go, like, block them up front, and now they're coming out around the back. And Red now has both Shrine of Wars, so that's gonna be a huge, huge deal, because I don't think they're gonna break this. Oh, a counter rally. I think it's the first time I've seen a counter rally in Osiris League. It's another Attila Takeda. I really thought that would have been a Edward Tamiris counter rally. It looks like a pretty full rally. Honestly, pretty much everyone pairs really well with Theo. Charles Theo is apparently the better one for Attila Takeda because it's just so much damage reduction. YSS Theo is still a classic. So this looks like blue has a superb present middle. But red is holding onto these buildings a lot. Like, that's not going to pass. This building can use some love. This building, if they don't have guys coming, you need to get this little Aethelflad in the building. I think mixability for Osiris League is huge. Like, it's really hard to really dedicate yourself to one-troop garrisons. I mean, that counter rally did really help them just melt this rally down. But I kind of like what Red's doing here. You kind of, like, that first arc doesn't matter. They're really well ahead. And they're just going to delay this and just continue to capture buildings. There's definitely a lot more. Are they just going to take... Are they just going to make it so they don't have anywhere to go with the arc? Oh, there we go. There's cancel. You know, I wasn't that happy with Edward Tamiris, but I definitely see its implication as amazing in Arc. Maybe people are not using them well for KVK. But maybe they could have a big resurgence, because they're putting in a lot of work here. Those extra stacks on Attila rallies just help melt them. Red's doing a really good job of delaying this while just applying insane pressure. A Guan rally. Spicy. It's not just all... It's not all Attila Takedas this time. I'm actually kind of impressed. I'd love to know if that's a... like a objective point to do it, or if they just don't have that many Attila Takedas. I think it's definitely worthwhile to mix up your rallies so like that everyone has their garrisons usually spec to just counter Attila Takeda. Look at how well this Guan's doing. That teardown just got wasted, and they're just gonna use everyone that was defending that to move up. That's super smart. Got another rally going to Shrine of Life. And everyone, once that Attila's down, I'm assuming all these armies are then just gonna move into it. How can you see the Theo marching into that? Oh, that's going to the obelisk. Saucy. Is that another counter rally? That is another counter rally. Blue's really relying on counter rallies to kind of make up. What's going on? Oh. Oh. Yeah, they did sneak one in. I don't think it's going to matter. They just don't have the troop support here versus... There's that YSS to just hold it afterwards. I think that's really smart, not even damaging him. That'll just be 350k fresh troops. That'll just have that extra little bit of support. That's doing huge damage on that Wu. That's doing a pretty significant amount of damage on that Wu, even with a counter rally going. I can't believe this arc battle's still going on. And I see, this is what I really like about what Red did. It didn't matter that they didn't go super heavy mid. All they have to do now is just bring a bunch of armies towards this desert altar, and I'll bet you anything they have a rally going on this right now. That would be... Is that 30... No, that one's going to the outpost. There's that rally about to hit, and the arc's right here. So, all they need to do now is to defeat these troops, get this desert altar, and just sneak it in. The debuff removal might actually be really huge for that. I would agree with that. I think the debuff on Theo as the primary is really good. But it also depends on how the rage regen is. You gotta think, sometimes if the Attila skill goes off first, and then YSS goes off, and then Takeda's goes, and then Theo's goes, then Theo clears all of the stuff. They're using the outpost extraordinarily well. And you see, they've just managed to maintain this lead really well. They're just putting so much pressure on all the buildings. Did they start capturing this one yet? I mean, they have 40 seconds, and then they start getting points there. Red just needs to be funneling armies to this desert altar. And there are. And it's perfect, because they just move these guys in. One army can just take this arc and run straight back towards the Shrine of War that they're not going to lose, while everyone else just pushes forward towards their desert altar. I love this as a strategy. You think how many more extra armies they had to push all the buildings while Blue was like, cool, we're going to go mid at the start of the match. Don't send your armies mid at the start. Not worth it. This is a huge battle, though. But bogged down where? Oh, that's even better. Blue's not going to be able to move and get more reinforcements in while they just funnel more and more troops in here. Where's this Barker rally going? Is that that's another counter rally? What is that? Barca Aethel counter rally. That's kind of interesting. Enjoy the coffee, bro. They gotta get another rally on this desert altar right away. Got more armies coming. That's what they need. I would be throwing everyone to this area right now. Just having those, like, couple of armies. That's the thing, they're just, it doesn't matter if they're winning it right now. They're just delaying it really well. Yeah, there's a bunch of really good counterplay debuffs marches to do against the Tilt Takeda. I think KVK4, that one whale that just always had a Barca Aethel hitting every one of our rallies, was super smart. It was expensive, but it was one of the only counterplays. And I think Edward Tamiris lately has really proven that that's a super good, just insane way of melting until Takeda rallies. That rally's still going? That was a very good time to use Valiant Stand, because they might lose that. I don't know if Valiant Stand's going to be enough, but look at just all the pressure everywhere. There's another Guan with good support. Is there a YSS here hidden? There's that hidden YSS. Red's just doing everything right now. There goes the rally. But there's still just so many marches here. Like, I don't know if this YSS is going to be able to hold out. Unless these guys start just emptying their troops and going back in. I mean, Blue has just a stupid amount of armies here right now. Why am I on this Discord server? Did I just get booted out of a server? The fact that they've managed to delay this arc so much, and they've gotten a huge lead. I'm curious, are they gathering at all? I have a couple of marches gathering. So it's not even like Blue's going to be able to come back from provisions. Can Blue even afford to be doing provisions right now? Nope. Oh, they finally got the arc. Good, they don't have anyone mid. I wonder if Blue is gonna start putting people mid again, or if they're finally gonna try to start taking back their buildings. The payoff didn't quite work out, but I think that was definitely... They got so much work done by keeping a bunch of their armies loose. And just look, they got so much outpost disruption. They're actively getting points off that outpost. They might be able... The only way Blue is going to come back from this is they need to get the second arc. And they got to start getting all of these building back. Like, they lost the Sky Altar again. Those Guan rallies have been huge. Did they fix it this time? They did. Cool. Is that it? What? Okay, no, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. I think that was just attacking it. That Guan Alex is pretty good against the Theo YSS. I think that was mostly just due to the support that was there. Like, they're having problems even just recapturing their outpost. I don't think there's anyone in here. I think the Saladin left. But that's 3 minutes of more disruption. Red's supporting all their buildings really well. They're gonna lose their Shrine of War again. Also, this song slaps. They left an army in there? It's a belly, but that's still just further delaying. Okay, that Saladin's dead. That Saladin's super dead. Blue really needs to have just like rallies going like crazy. But even that Attila Takeda is going nowhere against this YSS. And even with all of these, like they have the Theo hiding there, but they're not getting any ground. They even got the reinforcements there. Like, that Shrine of War is going to go down. There's that Edward Tamiris, yet again, trying to go for the debuffs. But I think it needs a lot more love than that. And keep in mind, it's 740 to 330, and Red's also doing provisioning. What is that? That's a Charles... Was that a Charles YSG? No, Charles YSS. I think they're pushing so far up. They're cutting off reinforcements. I don't know how they're going to be able to come back and try to get that Sky Altar when all of their stuff is just getting pushed in all over the map. That boat is the single best animation in the game. I also really like YSS's like anchor toss in open field. I think that's brilliant. Oh, is that an Edward Tamiris rally? Dude, why would you attack something? I don't care, you're Attila. This man's throwing a boat at you? What you gonna do if someone throws a boat in your face? Look at this Wu melt. This is insane. I really think this is not just them lacking Attila Takedas. I think they're actually using different marches for a really good reason. And look at how many armies are in blue. and they're trying to push up while they're still just losing all of their buildings. This next arc is super important, but let's see how they're doing on rallies. They have 3 rallies going. This one's not going to do anything. Oh, was that YSG? Archer Gang. Man, I might end up going in on them. It wasn't in my plans. Guy Alter one's dead. China War is gonna die. That's a rally just trying to get their Desert Altar back. But look at how many armies are still around here. Red is doing such an insane job of holding it. Blue's got a bunch of armies coming in again. But I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of armies here once this loads in. Oh, there's not, but there is a rally coming. That rally's going to be here in a minute. Blue needs to get this arc to even be in the match. If they lose this arc, they're out of the match entirely. But Red still got good pressure here. And they're just slowly moving it further and further downfield. Also, LD player is clearly superior to blue stacks because look at how crisp all this is. Let's scroll out ever so slightly. Are we against our KVK 3 out enemies? The people that we beat and then MFU came to 142 after that? Oh, that's another Attila William. And look at how good that is when you just have all those swarms going. I knew they were our enemies. I didn't realize that they were also MFU's old allies. That's hilarious. Sleepy, do you have people in mind that you're just gonna have Wolverine just wreck? Yeah, but the swarming, it definitely makes sense. I was definitely thinking about that for arc implications. You don't necessarily want to do that in KVK, but I think in arc, especially when you have, there's always 5 marches also hitting the structure. So you're just getting that extra swarm damage in. they're finally going to get their Sky Altar back. And they're managing to hold the Shrine of Life. But Red hasn't... I don't think Red's lost a structure at all this match. This arc battle is still, like, in the middle. And they're just slowly inching those points forward to the point where this arc isn't gonna matter. Don't be going Trizgle on my stream. Oh, by the way, Sleepy, type something in chat. You should have a pretty little badge next to your name. Hey, look at that. Look at how many armies Red has managed to bring in here. Ooh, El Cid as the supporting march. I'm curious who the secondary is. El Cid YSG, that works. Yeah, I feel like Red definitely has enough Attila Takedas that they could be doing every rally as Attila Takeda, but they're just switching it up to make sure that the blue team's garrison is always on their toes and they need to adapt. More counter rallies coming. Is that just a city rally? I think that is just a city rally. That's probably to get their troops further towards that side of the map to help. But Red's just slowly inching that arc back and further and further back. Red has managed to have armies everywhere. And they're still just gathering provisions at the same time. It's very impressive. This is definitely... They're not the most powerful team. What up, Alois? They're definitely not the most powerful kingdom that are going to be in the top 32. But they're playing exceptionally. Depending on how they get matched up in their seeds, these guys might go super far. So Blues managed to retake all their structures, finally. And I think that's because Red's starting to focus more on the middle. But that's been a hard fought fight to just get their buildings back. And look at that swarm. Even the YSS is getting in on it this time. We got the buffs going middle. And which one is the Arc Carrier? Yeah, that Arc Carrier's starting to make a run for it. Once they get this, I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin. They're finally even on points. They're finally even on points. But this building's holding really well. They're managing to get really good reinforcements in there. You know what the blue team could do is if they manage to get enough armies to come down this end from that top right obelisk and move down and get the Shrine of War quickly enough. But Red has so many armies, I don't see how they could lose that. And that Cow probably has full Windswept. And there's going to be room in there, so... There that is. That's 12k points to climb uphill. And you see that immediate change to Constantine as soon as they captured the Ark? That's outstanding play. They knew they just had to delay it for a little bit, and now they're going to focus. They changed it to Constantine, and now it's going to be full on. Hey, cool. Now we're going to stop them. And keep in mind, while all this is going on, look at all of this pressure going on. Are they actually going to hit the city, or is this going to break off or something? Nope. Nope, that's just going to a city. And look at all of these armies going home. Good luck, Don. Kick some butt. This is so much pressure. This is how you execute a plan in Arc flawlessly. They started aggressive early and just kept applying just an insane amount of pressure. The fact that they lost the first Arc meant nothing. And just everyone has insane points. These guys are putting in a lot of work. Are these marches refreshing? Yeah, they're just going to start refreshing their marches, and then everyone else is just going to push up Oh, they got the obelisk too. And once this rally is done, I'm assuming all of these armies are just going to push in there. This is the thing, from when I was looking around, I don't think Blues had the opportunity to even go for provisions. Like, there's all these empty nodes, but if I go down to this side, you bet your butt, like, look, there's... Red just has armies going and doing provisions constantly. They've managed to apply pressure, have armies everywhere, and still had a couple of armies free for just provisioning. These guys going... I mean, they're all pretty weak. Yeah, there they go. Some of them are starting to turn around. These Guan rallies have been absolutely demolishing them. I'm super impressed by how well Guan's performing in Arc. They're moving with the rally to support and getting all those little all their supporting marches along the way. Using another skill to probably get one last. Yeah, I don't think that counter rally is gonna do enough. And they're once again doing Guans. That's probably going to an outpost, and that might just go to the outpost to try to disrupt their points further. If the Titans manage to not get absolutely boned and end up against JMW in the next round, they're going to go pretty far, I think. Yeah, they're just going to go hit the outpost some more. They're probably going to kill that. And they might just hold it because they got a bunch of people going towards there. Although the smart play is probably just like hit this, kill this, and then have those two armies just go swarm this one, and just, at this point, they're not going to be able to get points from these anymore for the rest of the match because there's so little time left. Ruh-roh, did I crash? Oh, so see, Blue did end up getting that third arc at the end. No, did they? No, they got two arcs, so it was two. Oh, I'm an idiot. Look at those provision scores on top of it. Like, they managed to get so many provisions. They healed a good amount, but that was totally worth it. Yeah, so I stomped them on the arc. Look at that occupation score on that match. That's fucking mental. And just blew them by on provision scores. That's brutal. These guys actually killed it. Oh my days.